Hi guys! So today I'm going to be talking about something that's clearly related to me being in a Black Canary costume right now. So I just did a test run, or a test, for my Black Canary makeup for Boston Comic Con, and I figured what a better time to do it that I have this stuff out with me now and whatnot to do a basic cosplay makeup video. Now, this has been super requested. I don't know if it's because I have a beauty channel or because I do cosplay, but I've gotten a bunch of requests for this. And also, outside of YouTube, I get a ton of questions for this. Side note, before cosplaying, I used to do special effects makeup for fun around Halloween time and also not all around Halloween time. So when people I know started cosplaying, they started asking me questions about makeup and stuff like that. So I've been doing makeup for a while, and I know a lot of good tricks and just basic stuff that you should know or have. And I used to have a full kit that I used to keep around to do like special effects makeup and stuff like that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into it. This isn't a tutorial or telling you guys how to do cosplay makeup, because I'm gonna be honest with you, every cosplay is different. What I do for Black Canary is completely different than what I do for Mabel Pines and Jughead and Negan and all my other cosplays. It's all completely different. But there's one main base that if I take these products with me, I can do most of my costumes, most of my makeup for my costumes, with some different things. Like Canary will need a different lipstick or whatever, and I'll get into that. But the baseline that I use is basically good for every single costume that I have. So by kind of combining it and doing it like this, it makes my bag that I keep my makeup in really small, and I'm not lugging a ton of makeup with me for every single character. It just keeps it really minimal, and I like that. So because of that, I'm gonna get right into it. First things first is what I store my makeup in. You don't have to get this, but this just came in handy. You can buy these on Amazon, or mine came with my Zuka bag that I had that I used to store all of my stuff for my kit in. And it's just a clear makeup bag. Mine's a little dirty because it is used, and it has a handle on it. And this fits really well in my luggage, and I try to take all of my makeup and just make sure it fits inside of this. So that way, it's not a lot, but it gets the job done. So that's what I have. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about are palettes, and I feel like palettes are really useful and they're really helpful, and you don't have to spend a lot. A lot of these things I'm going to show you are really affordable, so even if you're just starting out in cosplaying and you want the basics, this is what I suggest to people, and it's actually what I use also. So one of my friends at a convention last year was asking me about contour and stuff like that, so I had recommended this to her, and I actually use it. And while we're at the convention, when she was getting ready for one of her characters, I had showed her how to kind of contour and highlight to, you know, change her face to kind of get to the character she wanted. So for that, you can get the expensive ones, but I have the e.l.f. contour palette, the regular contour palette, and the e.l.f. cream contour palette. And I believe this is in the regular like light shade, and this is, I think this only comes in one shade. But what I like about these is they're interchangeable. So these pop out. I'm not going to show you, but it pops out. So if you wanted to, and you didn't mind mixing your creams and your powders, you can pop the shades that you're not using out. For me, it's these, and put the creams in there, and you have one palette to take with you. So this is the powder, and this is the cream. You guys can tell what color I use most in the cream. And what I like about these is they're super cheap. I believe they're $3 to $6. I forget the exact price depending on where you get them. They're $3 to $6, and they are amazing quality for the price that you get. And they do just as good as, say, the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, which you can also get. They are bigger and they're not as compact as, say, these. And what these are good for, like I said before, is contouring, and, you know, you might have to change your nose because you might not have the same nose shape as Black Widow, or you might have to contour your face because one of the characters you're doing has really steep cheekbones. The cream contour palette and the powder contour palette is going to help you achieve that. So I like the ones from e.l.f. just because they are cheaper, and I feel like if you take them to a convention and they get broken, you're not breaking your really expensive palette. Whew. And my wig is in my face. Whoop. I hate when that happens when you're talking and your wig gets in your face. Alright. Now, I can talk about different eyeshadow palettes all day, but what I'm going to tell you guys is for any character that you are going to do, you are going to need a good matte palette. And I say that because, yes, one character you may be doing might have a glitter on their eye, or they might have something like crazy, like mine is black. With Black Canary, it's all black. But if you're doing a bunch of characters in one weekend, chances are if you have a really good matte palette like this Kat Von D Shade in Light, you're going to have enough to do almost all of your characters. So this is what it looks like. It has a wide array of colors. I use the black for Black Canary. I also, when I do Mabel, I do just these three over here just to kind of define her eye a little bit. When I do Jughead Jones, I do makeup, and I do this one up here and a couple of the browns. But yeah, when I do Negan, I do kind of like a pinup look, and I can also get that with this. So what I like about it is that if you have different characters, like I did Kaylee Frey from Firefly, I can do the base look of this, and if I needed to bring in another shadow to kind of tie it in or to do something, I can do it, but I have the full matte palette that I can do mostly any type of look with. So that's that. Different brands make different kinds of palettes. I just prefer the Kat Von D one. I know, like I said, it's a little bit more expensive, but I really, really quite enjoy it. So I get a lot of looks out of this, and if I bring this with me, I know that I am almost set for any single character that I'm going to do. And I've gone to conventions where I shared a hotel room with people, and they've also used this palette, and it worked quite well for them and their characters too. Now we're going to talk about primers and setting sprays and foundation. Now this is going to work differently for different people. It all depends on your skin type, but I'm just going to give you guys my opinion. Now, I have found that primers work differently depending on your skin type. The one I like to use is the Becca one. This has a slight kind of, not shimmer, but glow to it. I find it doesn't really affect my cosplays too much, but it photographs wonderfully. I don't bring this with me in glass because it is glass. I pump it into a little travel size container and I take it with me, but this is the one that I chose. You can use any kind. e.l.f. has a good one, but this is just the one I like. Make sure you have a good primer, and make sure that it's one that works well for your skin. I can't just recommend a primer to you because everyone's skin is different. Now, I'm going to recommend specifically this for a foundation because it works well with most skin types, and the fact is it's transfer proof. And I love this. I use this actually on my wedding, and it is MAC Face and Body Foundation, and it at first appears really light, not light, but like it's not full coverage, but it can be buildable. And what I like doing is, I'm going to show you guys in a second, I use a concealer underneath, and then I use this. And what I like is that it's buildable, is that the heat, I usually put it on with my hands and then use a beauty blender to kind of pounce it on, like what you do with a beauty blender basically. And then I look, and if I see that I need more coverage on certain spots, I will put it on my fingers, and if you warm it up on your fingers, it gets a little bit thicker, and I apply it on and then pounce it with a beauty blender. And this photographs amazingly. It's water resistant and it's transfer proof. And that alone for cosplay is amazing because you want something that's going to last you all day. and this won't get on your costume. And what I like is why I put the concealer underneath it is that it will also kind of help the concealer last longer because this is transfer proof and water resistant, so it kind of gives the concealer a little bit of extra help. So I love this, and I go through these like crazy. But I also used this on my wedding day, and it worked really well and lasted me all day too. And like I said before, it photographs wonderfully. Now, all of that being said, you are still going to need a really good setting spray. This is just preference. My personal favorite is the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. And why I like this is I usually get the travel size. This is actually my second bottle. It's closed. As I like getting the travel size because it's $10. But this lasted me probably like 6 months. So rather than spending, I believe it's like 25 or 30 on the full size, I get the mini and I buy it every once in a while. I only use it every so often for like conventions or special occasions or stuff like that, and this lasted me quite a while. But you can get different ones. Urban Decay makes one, but this is what I like is because it not only sets your foundation, but when you use like a setting powder, which I'm going to show you my favorite, or if you put on a lot of like powder on your face, it kind of fixes the cakiness of it and kind of just like kicks down the cakiness of it. So that's why I really enjoy this one. If you want to go for a twofer, I got fucking hair in my mask. The primer mist from e.l.f. is amazing because you can use it as a face primer, and then you can also use it to set your foundation, as I almost drop it. The only issue with this is it's not as foolproof as, say, the Makeup Forever, but it is a twofer. It is really nice. This whole bottle, I believe, was $12, so it's not that expensive, but the bottle is a little bit bigger. So just think of that when you're packing. Now, as far as setting powders go, I don't set my whole face just because I'm oily. This thing is huge, and I normally put a little bit in a travel container when I go, but this is that brand. And I forgot who recommended this to me, but apparently a lot of drag queens use it. And what I like doing is setting my under eyes with it, and I like doing it when I wear a mask, because when you sweat when you wear a mask, it really is horrible, and I feel like this kind of helps a little bit. For me, it doesn't flash back, and I think it photographs really nicely. I usually put it underneath my eyes, and usually like underneath my contour to kind of clean it up a little bit. So that's what I like. But make sure you have a really good setting powder, and make sure it's not HD, because the HD setting powders will flash back with photography, and you don't want that. Alright, so I'm wearing this right now, and I'm not telling you to use this one, but if you are going to use a lip product, I suggest using the Kat Von D liquid lipstick. This is the color I'm wearing right now. I like my lips, so if you guys can tell, the middle of my lip fades really quick. But this stuff does not go anywhere. It is a little bit pricey, but it's so worth it. So if you need a lipstick color, invest in this or the Wet n Wild brand. This is their new liquid catsuit, and this is this. Look at that. It looks almost identical to the Kat Von D in color, and this does the same thing. It is transfer proof. You can, like, it doesn't go anywhere. So that's what I like about it. So invest if you need a lip color for your cosplay in one of these. All right. So this is more so a recommendation, but if you can get a brush roller, I would suggest getting it, because if you open it up, this can be some more recommendations. You can fit all of your brushes in it, as well as anything that's like stick form. So like eyebrow pencils, eyeliners. This is another liquid lipstick, your brushes, and your concealer. So I'm going to get back to the brushes in a second. This is the concealer that I really, really love using. And this is the Liquid Camouflage by Catrice. And this is waterproof. I have not had any issue with this at all. And this is amazing for concealer. But basically, just get yourself a really good setting concealer. Something that's going to last you all day, because that is key when it comes to cosplay, is you want something that's going to not melt off when you're sweating. It gets really warm in places, and that's key. Alright, so now time for brushes. I made a recommendation to a friend who is also a cosplayer when it comes to brushes. And I told her that I go for cheap in price, not cheap in quality. And what I like using is Real Techniques brushes. I'm sorry they're dirty, I just use them. But I picked up these. I have like 3 sets of these, and this is like the eye set. And it comes with a really good blending brush, a really good like shadow brush, an eyeliner or a lip brush, and then an angled brush. And then I have a bunch of the face brushes. I have way more than this. This is just what I usually pack with me. I pack, this is the, I forgot what it's called. Oh gosh, what is this one called? The Expert Face Brush, the Blush Brush, oh no, the Contour Brush, and then, I don't know what this one's called, it does not have a name, but this brush. And what I like about these is that they're so soft and they're so nice, and they're really good quality. I like to contour with this one, blush for this one, powder for this one, or even blush. And then these are really good for your face. But what I try to do is I try to bring just the amount that I need, and then a spot brush cleaner. This is the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner, and I like to bring a cloth with me just so I can, once I'm done using it real quick, I will spray the brushes that I'm using, wipe them off on the cloth, leave them on the counter for the convention for the day. It takes no more than like 3 minutes, and then the next day when you go to do your makeup, your brushes are clean and you don't have to pack a ton of brushes. So I really, really like doing that. And some other really good brushes is the e.l.f. brushes. And this is the, I believe, the contour brush or the face sculpting brush. So e.l.f. also makes really awesome brushes. I'll take the other stuff out of here. Now, remember how I told you guys that this is the base for most cosplay makeup? Like, you want stuff that's going to last, and each cosplay is different. Well, this is what I mean when I say that. For instance, Black Canary, I can do all the base, like I just told you, and then I get other things. So, like the different color liquid lipstick. I need this, which I believe is Jordana. It's a black eyeliner, huge pencil, which is what I do with that. I use a different blush. I use a little, this is Tarte Expose blush for Canary. And then this stuff added onto the base is how I do my Canary cosplay makeup. For Jughead, it's a little bit different. I do wing liner just because it's like a feminine version of Jughead. I do kind of a pinup eye with a wing liner and no lipstick, and that's just kind of it. It's a little bit of a smoky eye. For Mabel, I don't contour my face at all. I do my regular base foundation and concealer routine, but I do it with very light. Like, I don't go full coverage with my foundation. I do a little bit of concealer under my eyes so I don't look super tired. And then I take eyeliner and I do like freckles with really bright blush. But for the most part, I put like just on my eyes, just very lightly contour just to give her some definition, but I use those palettes. So when I packed for Boston Comic Con, just these base items that I'm telling you is perfect, aside from bringing an extra blush, which this can also, I use this one for Jughead also, 2 extra blushes, if I can speak, 2 extra lipsticks, and eyeliner, just to kind of go with it. But when I do Kaylee, Kaylee Frey from Firefly, I bring some stuff so I can make myself look a little bit oily, or have oil or dirt on me. I also bring just kind of a brighter pinkish like tint lip, not like lipstick, but it's a lip tint. But for the most part, I do everything the same when I, either if I contour or whatever my face, that is what I use. When I do Sarah Lance, which is different than Laurel, I don't do my eyes super dark. I do a very neutral eye because she doesn't really do that, like dark eye like Laurel does, and I do a very kind of like pinkish nudish lip. But for the most part, the rest of the face makeup is the same. Another thing also is I use, where is it? The Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil for all my cosplays in different, I have this in different colors, but what I like about it is it's basically foolproof. This is a fresh one, so you can see it. Look at that. It's completely angled, so you can't really screw up your eyebrows. So for Mabel, I just recently got one. It's like a light brown, but if you don't want to get this, you can go get a cheaper version, but I got one for Mabel because it also matches my Kaylee cosplay. For Negan, I add in a red lip because I wear a red lip with Negan. He also has kind of, I do a feminine Negan, so he has like a pin-up kind of cat eye because I do something like that. But for the most part, everything here can be used with almost every single one of my cosplays. And I spoke of the sponge that I use, and again, like I said, Real Techniques. It's their little beauty blender dupe. For the most part, that is what I use. And the last tip is I usually bring one of these mirrors. I'm not going to blind you, but it's like one of these travel mirrors. And it kind of goes out like this. Because usually we share a hotel room with someone. And when we share a hotel room, people are in and out of the bathroom. So what I normally do is I take the desk. And most of the time, the desk in the hotel room is near the window, so you have natural lighting. And I do my makeup there. So that way I'm not interfering with people going in and out of the bathroom. But that is it. Like I said, this is kind of like a base video. Like, this is what you can kind of start off with and then build upon your other cosplay makeup, whether it's lipstick, blush, any different kind of eyeshadows or anything like that. And I hope it was helpful. Damn, this was a lot, but I get a lot of questions, and I've helped out a couple of other friends who cosplay, letting them know about these things, so now I'm sharing it with you guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Give this video a like or comment down below if you guys want to see a what's in my convention bag video, and I'll do that next. Okay? Bye!